Welcome back everybody, I'm Fresh Biscuit and today I'm going to play a new demo from Steam, Dr. Emmerson's Nocturnes by indie developer Bit Golem. Now Bit Golem has found a new interesting way of bringing old literature back to life, especially when it comes to horror stories, H.P. Lovecraftian, that kind of thing. And this is one of them. So let's get into it and see what it's like. Dr. Emmerson's Nocturne is a collection of faithful interactive adaptations of work from classic horror and weird fiction writers. It's focused on history and atmosphere. You will not find difficult choices, actions, sequences, or inventory management here, and movement is limited to progressing through locations along the plot. This demo is a short excerpt from a story Under the Pyramids written in 1924 by H.P. Lovecraft and escapologist Harry Houdini. Well, that's an interesting piece of trivia right there. The famous illusionist recalls the events of his visit to Egypt in 1910. During a night trip, he was captured by his guide's helpers, tied and lowered on a rope onto an unknown endless pit. Well,
for apparent eons, I bumped against the stony irregular sides of a narrow-hewn well. My nostrils were assailed by a scarcely definable menace, a creeping odor of damp and staleness, curiously. The horror of the experience deepened with every dragging second. Then, the mental cataclysm came. It was very gradually that I regained my senses after that eldritch flight through Stygian space. I must be lying helpless in some nameless cavern world toward the core of the planet. My bonds were still biting into me with unloosened force. I used all the art of a lifetime to free myself, as I had so often done amidst the glare of lights and the applause of vast crowds. When I was finally free, I peered diligently in every direction, yet met only an ebony blackness. Obviously, I ought not to walk at random, so I paused to note the direction of the cold, fetid, natron-scented air current. Accepting the point of its source as the possible entrance to the abyss, I strove to keep track of this landmark and to walk consistently toward it. Once my head struck against a hard object. It was the base of a column of unbelievable immensity, whose surface was covered with gigantic chiseled hieroglyphics. Crawling on, I encountered other Titan columns at incomprehensible distances apart. Suddenly, I began to hear, faintly and afar off, the morbid and millennial tramping of the marching things. It was hideous that footfalls so dissimilar should move in such perfect rhythm. The tramping drew nearer. Heaven save me from the sound of those feet and paws and hooves and pads and talons. Down limitless reaches of sunless pavement, a spark of light flickered in the malodorous wind. I drew behind the enormous circumference of a cyclopic column, that I might escape for a while the horror. I would not look at the marching things. But God, their crazy crazy torches began to cast shadows on the surface of those stupendous columns. Heaven take it away. Hippopotami should not have human hands and carry torches. Men should not have the heads of crocodiles.
It's short, sweet, to the point, and exactly as I would expect. A game like this, which isn't focused on gameplay itself, but on the story itself, the narrative of it. And there's nothing wrong with that. This is just a game where you can just sit back, relax, not having any issues or wondering about inventories or game mechanic or any nasty creatures that you need to destroy. It's just pure visualization of the story itself. And I kind of enjoyed that. And I hope you do too. And I will be wishlisting this, hoping it comes out soon enough and hopefully play the full game for you all. Until then, thanks for watching.